As a woman, you would much rather clock into a 9 to 5, fuck that, 8 to 6 that drains you mentally and physically than to make your man a sandwich.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. How much money would your spouse have to make to convince you to leave the job that you love to be a stay-at-home wife and mom? Well, that's the question a popular TikToker of the berries has posed to his followers after sharing that he has been not so subtly trying to convince or force his wife to leave her career to stay at home. I'll go ahead and show you the series of videos he's made, and then we'll go ahead and discuss.
Coming from a man who's trying to convince their wife to be a stay-at-home mom, I want her to quit working. We finally got to that point financially to where the money that she makes really does no good for her. I would much rather have her home to where she can help me make more money, making my meals, cleaning the house, handling all the grocery shopping. The kids are both of our jobs. I'm still bathing, cooking, doing school drop-offs and pickups, doctor's appointments, all those things for my kids. But I need my wife home to help make my life easier so I can make us more money. Now I fight and I do content. In the past, we've had to do the dual income thing because life be life and life is hard without two incomes in the household. But I don't like to drop how much I make, but I make enough to where she really doesn't have to work. Her working is honestly hindering me making more. And it's really not a stability issue. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and I fight. I make money on all those different areas. And I understand why she doesn't want to, because she was raised to always bring something to the table. That's how her parents raised her. She's a college accounting professor and an accountant herself. Her mother owns multiple businesses and she's been working since she was like 16 years old. So I get not wanting to have to depend on a man, but you're not depending on me. We're in this together. You're just making, look, I'm paying you. As a woman, you would much rather clock into a 9 to 5, fuck that, 8 to 6 that drains you mentally and physically than to make your man a sandwich. I made a video yesterday. It's doing numbers. I made a video talking about how I want my wife to become a stay-at-home mom. I'm trying to convince her to do it. I'm actually picking her up from work right now. I can't show you her job, but I'm here picking her up from work right now. I talked about how she's well accomplished, multiple degrees, been working almost 10 years at her job. I also talked about how I make enough money now to where her money is honestly detrimental to us making more money through me. Not being at home to help me cook and clean for me and the kid. A lot of the cleaning falls on me. Every man's goal, at least my goal as a man, has always been to retire my mother and my wife. I don't want the two women that take care of me the most, that have loved me the most, to have to work a day in their life anymore. And y'all hated me for that. And I think I know it is. I think it's because I said what I want her to do for me. But y'all are forgetting I'm taking that mental load of having to worry about finances off her plate completely. We have a joint account. She has access and can use money how she pleases. We've even dabbled in the discussion, baby, just go part-time. Just go part-time. You don't have to completely quit. But I need reinforcements at home. I don't want to hire a maid. I don't want to hire a chef. I want a home-cooked meal for my wife. I love her cooking. From her mouth, exactly. Cleaning, it's mentally soothing for me. It's therapeutic for me. I didn't say this, she has. God forbid a woman actually wants to do something for her man and not feel like a slave. My wife had hobbies before she started working or having to work because we weren't making enough at the time. This is her opportunity to explore those hobbies so that she's seen as more than just a mother and a wife or a professor. But ultimately, I need y'all to hear me clearly. It is her choice. Her choice. I'm gonna keep sticking jabs like, hey, you look tired from work, you don't have to work. For anyone that's married or in a relationship, I need to know, what is that number your significant other can come home with that'll make you quit whatever you're doing in life and go be like a stay-at-home husband or stay-at-home wife? So if your husband or wife walked in and said, hey babe, I'm making this amount of money and I need you to quit your job and come help me make more for the family, what is that number for you? If you don't have it, that's fine. You can still put it, but what is that number for you? Me and my wife have been back and forth about this same topic because, as you guys know, I'm trying to convince her to quit her jobs. My wife is on board to quit her job, and she has her number. She has her number. We talked about it. But I've talked to my brothers, I've talked to my mother, and everyone has a different number. What's your number? What's that number in your head? Think about the lifestyle you want to live. Think about where you live. Think about financial security. Think about all those things. What's that number in your mind where you'll quit working and go be a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home dad to fully support your significant other to make y'all more money?
So this man is a huge red flag. And as you can imagine, the comments and the stitches ate him up. Let's get into the responses and then I'll give you my opinion.
Coming from a man who's trying to convince their wife to be a stay-at-home mom, the money that she makes really does no good for her. Making my meals, cleaning the house, handling all the grocery shopping, taking my wife home to help make my life easier so I can make us more money. She's a college accounting professor and an accountant herself.
Here's my take on dude who's trying to get his wife to leave her accounting job as a professor in order to be a stay-at-home mom, make him a sandwich or whatever the hell it is he's wanting her to do. First of all, retiring me is not cooking and cleaning, okay? It's not putting me in a position to be a second-class citizen in my own home because you want to see me physically cooking, cleaning, scrubbing toilets, scrubbing the floors. Like, that's not retirement, baby. That's not what we dream of when we think of, I'm going to retire. So if you as a man are making more money, so much so that you are saying you want to retire your woman, then you need to hire a nanny, a housekeeper, a cleaner, those types of things that make both of your lives easier. Second of all, when people say things like, you know, your woman would rather be out, you know, clocking in and clocking out for a man versus being at home taking care of their kids or whatever, what you don't understand is when your man is doing his job as a man and he has everything covered and you actually have a choice to make when you could go to work or you can stay home or you can take off or you can do whatever, what they don't understand is I don't have a boss at that point, okay? I'm the boss. Because when work gets crazy and they start talking crazy to me and they start requiring things that require me to be away from my kids more than I want to be and stuff like that, I can say, you know what, I don't have to deal with this because my man got it. Not me though, because I don't have that issue because I'm the boss. I own my own shit. I haven't worked for anybody else in over 12 years now, all right? So I don't have that issue. But for those of you who have a 9-to-5, if your man is doing what he's supposed to do at home, he's totally covered you, he's offering you provision, the boss is, you're the boss, okay? Because you get to decide ultimately. And that's what it's all about. People think that feminism was, you know, our right to work. We fought for our right to go out here and work. No, we fought to be able to get paid for our labor, okay? Because cooking, cleaning, raising kids, doing all that type of thing, that is free labor. That's stuff that we don't get paid for. And saying that we are cooking and cleaning and we're doing those things taking care of our kids for a roof over our head, okay, baby, that's not retirement. That is indentured servitude.
As a woman, you would much rather clock into a 9-to-5, fucking 8 to 6 that drains you mentally and physically than to make your man a sandwich.
I don't understand why straight men are so convinced that with all of their baggage and all of their emotional insecurity and emotional immaturity, that being home with them and being married to them and actually doing these tasks for them is not mentally and physically and emotionally draining, especially when you think like this. Oh, but wait, he's not even finished perpetuating the male loneliness epidemic and pushing women right into the arms of bisexual men, or just choosing the bear or a job over them.
But I'm like strong much. I mean, I'm big enough where she really doesn't have to work. Her working is honestly hindering me.
I can't imagine that you don't want to say how much you make. I feel like that's where all of your worth clearly is. Because if your wife wants to work, has a better job than you, and makes more money than you, then your only problem is that she's the one doing it and you're not. You can't bring in any, we don't care about traditional values. These women don't, so why do you think we do? Signing herself over to Satan, marrying you should not mean that she has to get rid of her personality, get rid of the whatever job and career that she has and wants to pursue outside of you, because women are allowed to have their own accomplishments and money outside of men. Okay, so the fact that they are now allowed to do these when 50 years ago they didn't even have these rights, why are you trying to be the one to stop that? Yes, women want to work. Yes, women want to work regardless of if you can provide for them. You should literally start working on like what else you can provide to keep her there, because she obviously doesn't need you, and that's what makes you mad.
I just posted a video about this man who wants his wife, who has spent the last 10 years of her life trying to build her career, to quit that 9-to-5 job to make him a ham sandwich. If you want to be a stay-at-home wife and mom, I think it's really important that you look out for yourself. Get yourself a Roth IRA, individual retirement account, some kind of way where you are not just suspending your earning potential. No one goes into a marriage expecting it to fail, but the truth is 50% of marriages do, and you don't want to end up having to start all over with no work history, no rental history, no retirement, no savings. One thing about men is they can love you to itty-bitty pieces, but they will always consider their finances. If he loves you like he says he does, he'll have no problem with setting you up in the event that the relationship fails. But if that man is adamant about, no, trust me, bro, don't. As much as men who have nothing in their pocket but lint would like to complain about a gold digger, most of them don't have that kind of money. But if they're the only one earning any money, they have more money than you. In the event that the relationship fails, they'll have no problem reminding you of that. They'll tell you that it's their car, their house, their retirement account, their savings. They will always look out for themselves, so you must always look out for you. I don't care how much you love him, you should always love yourself more. One of the most vulnerable positions you can be in as a woman is to have your finances in the hands of a man who no longer loves you. Every time he's earned with your help and your unpaid labor. He didn't hire a maid, a chef, or a nanny because you were there. He may not make sure you're compensated for your unpaid labor, but you better.
Man who's trying to convince their wife to be a stay-at-home mom. I want her to quit working. We finally got.
Yes, you want your wife to be a stay-at-home mom, but you want to do it for your own selfish reasons. You came on the internet and said that your wife is a college professor and she's an accountant, but you want her to be a stay-at-home wife/mom for the simple fact of you think it will boost your career. You think her putting her goals and or her achievements on the side for you to make some sandwiches for you is going to make your life better. You also said that the money that she brings in is a little irrelevant due to the fact of how well you're doing with social media and boxing. Congratulations on all that. But to honestly minimize her like that and say the money you make is irrelevant is why women like to say a man is always going to come on the internet and embarrass you. The biggest takeaway from this all is we all have to take a step back and realize who we're dating and or who we are married to. If your wife has 2 jobs and it seems like you guys are doing well for yourself, she must be a driven woman who likes to be fulfilled, which she probably gets a lot of fulfillment with educating those kids and helping people with those finances. That probably gives her a sense of purpose in life because that's what she wants to do. I understand you said your wife gets peace from cooking and cleaning and doing those things. Trust me, I love the vacuum and hear crumbs get vacuumed up. It's a great feeling. But at the end of the day, some people do not want their life minimized to just helping their significant other. Your wife doing her jobs gives her autonomy in the life that she lives, but it seems like you're trying to take that away so she can go cook and clean for you. That's why women don't like us.
But you would much rather clock into a 9-to-5, fucking 8 to 6 that drains you mentally and physically than to make your man a sandwich.
Black men like this really... And I feel sorry for his non-black wife because they always get trapped with these men. The fact that he thinks of women as a monolith, as if we all think the same, we all have the same desires and wants, and then in the other video explained all the reasons why his wife wouldn't have those same desires. It's not about making your man a sandwich. What if I want to own a business? What if I got my own dreams, aspirations? Like, baby, this is not back in the day where women couldn't think for themselves, couldn't do nothing for themselves, couldn't do the things that they had in their mind. It don't have nothing to do with wanting to make you a sandwich. Like, what are you even talking about? Let's be for real, it's never just a sandwich. You want her to be a cook, a maid, a babysitter, and then have to ask you for an allowance every week when you just told us that her mama owns businesses. She's always worked since she was a kid. Her family have businesses, this and that, this and that. Of course she don't just want to sit at home and do nothing. Y'all complaining because y'all don't want to make y'all man a sandwich. I'm sorry if making a sandwich is not the funniest thing in the world. Like, it's other things that we can do. Like, if you marry a woman who is working and ambitious, you can't just all of a sudden decide for her when you finally get some money, because all that time she had to go 50-50 with you. Now you're going to try to force her into submission. Like, do y'all care about the people y'all marry at all? I don't get it. If you wanted that all along, you should have waited to get married until your money was up and then marry somebody that do want to sit at home and take care of your kids and cook you food and follow you around.
So it's very evident that he's been jealous of this woman and has been in a silent competition with her probably since the beginning. He has zero respect for her, and it shows in his choice of words. He had no problem with her income when it was absolutely needed to keep the family afloat. Now that his social media money and boxing money seems to be ramping up, her income is doing her no good. The income she's worked 10 years for, the income she went to college, grad school, and is pursuing a doctoral degree for is no good. In what world is bringing in income keeping a couple from making more money? He obviously doesn't want to be bothered with those kids anymore because, mind you, they have 2 kids and 1 on the way. And he clearly feels as if he's too good to contribute to the family in this way and wants to put her back in her place, barefoot, pregnant, and behind that stove. A few things came to mind when I was watching his clips, and there's no way he's just missing these points. She obviously is fulfilled in her work, or else she wouldn't keep advancing her degrees. This woman is a 10-year professor and an accountant. That takes time and intentionality. She's not just picking up shifts at the local Denny's. Like, let's just be serious here. Her pursuing a PhD while knowing the family's finances are in such a good place lets us know it's about more than the money. This is a personal goal of hers that should be respected and supported. It seems that she comes from a career-driven family, and he stated that she's been working since she was 16 and takes pride in that. So what the hell makes him think that she wants to be a stay-at-home wife and mom when working and having a sense of independence is so deeply ingrained in who she is as a person? If his ultimate goal was to retire his wife, why not find a woman whose goal it was to be a stay-at-home wife and mom? Why go for the career-oriented woman and try to sit her down? If it was truly about lightening her load, he would hire help so that when she got home, she wouldn't have to cook and clean after a long day of working her goals. He wants to see her cleaning and cooking. He doesn't want to retire her. He wants free labor. This man is dangerous, and I guarantee you the second she leaves her career and stays home, that mask he's been wearing as a loving husband and father on social media will fall off. It will become his money. He'll be the one throwing it in her face how much he's sacrificing for the family. And should he go on to make more money like he think he will, and they were to part ways, he would absolutely leave her destitute. I hope she stands her grounds and also realizes how irresponsible and low-key narcissistic he's actually becoming. Because this non-issue he's creating is out of pure ego. Trying to convince your heavily pregnant wife to leave her stable job and benefits and put the family's financial well-being in your hands when your income is from an app that's literally on thin ice in the States and from letting other men beat you upside the head is absolutely insane. Both careers are completely unstable and can be over in an instant. And then what will you guys do? This is another classic case of men attempting to clip women's wings. They get off on knowing they made you leave your career. They put all those kids in you. They got you at home washing clothes and making a sandwich. They get off on that sense of control and is absolutely sick. I can only imagine the pit in her stomach that she'll get when she realizes that her husband is trying to disenfranchise her. I hope he will drop the matter and let her do what she's comfortable with, but I really don't have high hopes because he keeps on pressing the issue, as we see from the several videos he's made on the issue. Ladies, if your guy or husband's goals only involve him and not you and any kids you may or may not have yet, you need to run. He sees you as nothing more than a stepping stone, a means to an end, and you need to get out. This man, red flags abound. Because this is nothing new. How many women have we seen come on TikTok complaining about their husbands who have made them stay-at-home wives and are now throwing it back in their face, saying they contribute nothing to the household, saying that they don't have any money, saying that they're holding them back, even though it was their idea to stay home, even though it was their idea for them to stay home and raise the kids and contribute to the family in that way. These men flip on a dime. It is not worth losing your independence ever. And if she does decide that she wants to stay at home and leave all this shit in his hands, she needs to get a postnuptial agreement. She needs to get some type of contract written up to where he's making contributions solely in her name to her retirement fund, to any medical needs she and the kids may have. She needs to have her own separate account that he cannot touch. Those kids need to have some really stacked up college funds. Like, she needs to have an ironclad contract so that way when shit hits the fan, because we're dealing with men like this, and more than likely will, that she's protected and those kids are protected. I don't know if you're familiar with Jenny. She has a channel on here. Her name is Life Takes Two. She was an ex-Mormon who got married at 19. She had 5 kids with her husband, and she never really held a job. She was always a stay-at-home wife. However, she signed over her business to him. She worked all the family businesses, but she was never an official employee of the marriages. And when the marriage came to an end because he was unfaithful and I think was soliciting like sex workers and stuff, when the marriage came to an end, he cleared out all the accounts, left her completely destitute and homeless with their 5 children, and she is still to this day trying to pick up the pieces. So this stuff is not isolated incidents. This stuff happens all the time, and I'm so happy that we have TikTok now. There are women are coming forward with their stories and that we are learning from each other and hopefully not repeating each other's mistakes. So please, Miss Berry, if you come across this video, do not leave your career because your husband wants to go get CTE in a fighting career. Do not do it. Hold the line, Miss Girl. I wish her the best. I hope you have a safe delivery on their final child. And I'm going to keep a close eye on this family because I'm curious to see if she will ultimately make the decision. Let me know what y'all think of this situation. Let's have a conversation in the comments below. I'll be back with the new What's a TikTok real soon. See you next time. Bye.